Hello there, Comic Clan, and welcome to Comics and the Cross, the greatest streamers that you have never heard of.
I'm a geek. I use thought bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak because she's a seat out for me. I'm unique. There is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me. I'm a geek. I use thought bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak because she's a seat out for me. I'm unique. There is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me.
Funny, I was just sitting in a coffee shop one day, just being like, you know what? I haven't seen Goth Cowboys.
Yeah, so the Infinity Bros are saying that they like your Spidey themed stuff going on.
Like it? Dude, I gotta show you. Hold on.
Oh no, here we go.
You know, my thing is when the Lord gave me dominion, something huge, because God doesn't do anything halfway.
I appreciate the fact that the comic book movies like DC and MCU, they take the source material seriously,
Yeah.
but they're not afraid to like show loyalty to the source material.
Sinestro is good, but there's no way in the world that Doom's going to lose to him.
I'm a geek. I use thought bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak because she's a seat out for me. I'm unique. There is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me. I'm a geek. I use thought bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak because she's a seat out for me. I'm unique. There is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me.
I was like, you know what? Not only are they not hiring black people to work on these films and cartoons, I don't see enough diversity. I don't see enough inclusion. I don't see people in wheelchairs or walkers. I don't see sickle cell characters.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
my favorite one. I got this for Christmas. It's Spider-Man Hulk.
Although I'm being shown up here, to be completely honest, because
Oh, yeah.
Lewis came in the show
Let's
like
give
this.
him a taste. Let's give
Yeah,
him a
show
taste
them
real
this.
quick.
Show them this, man.
Like, we went all out. We even got the knee socks. Got it all. Give him a twirl.
Yeah, man.
Character that is my number one, like no doubt about it. So this was one of the comics that was in, not this specific one, but this character in that box that I was referring to, that opened the gateway for me for comics for life. It's this guy right here. I know it's backwards, but it's Spawn.
So I hope you come here. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel part of this family. This is the Comic Clan. If you want to be part of it, we are here with open arms for you. Hello there, Comic Clan, and welcome to Comics and the Cross, the greatest streamers you have never heard of. I'm back.
It's back.
Nitro has been holding the fort
Welcome.
down for about the last 5 weeks or so. And
Tried not to run the show into the ground. There we go.
I think you've done a pretty amazing job. We got some pretty sweet art streams out of it. We got some pretty great games of Among Us, which were hysterical to watch because
Dude,
Nitro
that
has
was
no
hilarious.
idea what he's doing.
No clue. No clue. Still have no clue what I'm doing when I play that game. But it's okay.
But we are back. I am back here. So glad to be back with all of you. I, of course, for those that don't know, I'm Cross, along with my co-host Nitro, who's up in my upper left on your screens, I believe, if I'm getting that right. And then, of course, we are not alone this week. We're going to jump right back in with a bang as we are joined with becoming a mainstay of the channel at this point and a long-time friend of the channel at this point, Dr. Barron Bell, who's up in the other corner from us, the creator of
I'm the guest
Minion
who would
comic.
never leave.
Hey, I'm perfectly fine with that. We've had some great chats with Dr. Bell. If you've missed out his previous visits on the show, head over to our YouTube channel. You can go over there and catch the archives of all of our shows. We have a couple of shows with him, talking about Dominion Chapter 1, and then just geeking out on comics and art in the second one, pretty much. But he is back as Dominion is about to drop Chapter 2 this month,
Chapter
pretty much.
2?
It drops.
About to go down.
So, of course, he has to be
down,
back
yeah,
on
right.
the show. Of course, we have to get him back and talk about it.
Good friend of the show.
Yeah, great friend of the show. And
Thanks, guys.
a little bit of housekeeping just before we delve into conversation. Of course, there's a couple of little changes you'll see on the screen and in our About Us section. Over on this side of our screen, from my microphone, you will see there's actually a little rotating logos over there. That's a little bit of an advertisement for some friends of ours and some fellow streamers who are either good friends of ours or who have helped promote the show and help do different things. So we want to just give them a massive shout out. So If you want links for them, we can definitely provide those. But these are some amazing people, amazing channels. Some are here on Twitch. At least one or two are over on Facebook Gaming. Go and check them out. You will not be disappointed with the amazing content they are providing. The other thing, as the logo pops up over there, you'll see a 1UP Customs logo popping up there. This is something that I'll be honest, I need to apologize to Nitro for this. This is my bad. I should have had this stuff up here a long time ago. 1UP Customs is Nitro's Etsy page, where he creates different things. He's got artwork up there, he's got stickers up there, and he has recently been delving into geeky sneakers. Has been like his new passion project.
I'm a sneakerhead, so I love sneakers.
So like he's been done a few of those, and he's been showcasing them on Instagram for a while, and it's my bad. I totally should have had these up here, totally should have had it advertised up here for him. So we actually now have a link to it, if I can find it, for our stores.
It's all good, man. I appreciate the love.
In the chat, not only is it our Teespring store, but you'll also find the link to his Etsy store as well, and his stuff is awesome. Also, there is a giveaway we did for a Batman piece is actually up there on that store as well, so you can go ahead and check that out and pick it up. And there's some information and a link also if you're on your computer and it's easy to get to. The About Us section, you'll see a logo for 1UP Customs. You can click on that and it will take you straight there. So that's my bad. That should have been done a long time ago, and I completely just thought about it while I was away. I'm like, oh yeah, why have we not got links to that?
It's all good, man. I appreciate the love. Thanks, man.
No problem. Phenomenal artist. You deserve your stuff to be showing off. That's, we're doing it for other people, like, for like Dr. Bell and stuff that are coming on here, so why am I not doing it for my co-host,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Definitely. Nitro needs love too, man. Nitro needs love too.
I need some love.
Nitro needs love, especially after the last 5 weeks. I think he was having panic attacks of like
every day
on his own. It's like, and he's done a phenomenal job. He really did. And so this is a little bit of love back for thank you for taking the show for a month from me.
Absolutely.
Also as well, shout out to our sponsor that is right above Dr. Bell there, Gamer Grind Co., the #1 coffee for gamers. Hashtag on that grind. Let me throw the link up for them. Remember, you can go there and pick up some amazing coffee and a couple of things that are Comics in the Cross related. Our mug and sticker are up there as well. Just click on that link to take you there and use Comics in the Cross at checkout to save 5%. Also as well, if you are in the UK, they have I think it was about a month or two ago, they've opened up a distribution centre in the UK for UK and some of Europe. So if you're watching from there, then you can definitely enjoy Gamer Grind as well. Alright, I think senseless plugging is out the road for the most part. Just make sure we get that in. I'll probably do it again later on. But let's delve in to some conversation. So for anyone who did pre-order, did purchase, and did take up in Dominion, you probably will have received it. I know I did. I was very excited to get this in the mail.
Most people have gotten it. We still have some orders that are still outstanding, especially most recently. We have a two-man fulfillment operation, so it's like, it takes a little longer.
Yeah. And
when Dominion gets bigger, then when I'm like Disney, then you can have it like tomorrow if you want it. So, but for now, it's a couple weeks
and even
between
from
your order and the time you get it.
You can see some of that artwork if you guys haven't seen it before. There's beautiful art from Dr. Bell.
Yes.
The one that I ordered is the special collector's edition, which also came signed from Dr. Bell as well.
That's awesome.
So, like, this is also still available for purchase if you want in the Terminus store. Or if you prefer your comics digitally, you can also get it on Comixology now.
That's right. So
let me throw
That's right. We're worldwide digital, man. Worldwide digital.
Let me throw. There we go. There's the links up there for Terminus Media. So you can head over there and check it out. There is some different versions of the comic, and also as well to head there to look at purchasing Chapter 2, because we have Chapter 2 now, which I'm excited to talk a little bit about. Obviously, we're not going to delve too far into it. We don't want to give away spoilers and stuff for it. We don't want to give away some of the big surprises. But I'm excited for Chapter 2. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm loving the art.
Man. Thank you, bros. Thank you. This is a labor of love. You know what I'm saying? And it's validation to me from the response that I received from chapter 1 that makes chapter 2 that much more vital. And in a couple of ways, because as you guys know, and those of you who's seen me before on the show, I'm a comic book nerd. You know what I'm saying? I'm a college professor who teaches comic book art and publication at Liberty University. So, my head is like swimming in it all the time, in addition to publishing Dominion. But I'm also a Christian, I love Jesus and I love the Bible. And Dominion is inspired by the story of the demise of King Saul in First Samuel. And, this is, for me, two sides of my whole being coming together.
Yeah.
It's my spirit man, which has a mission from God, as the Blues Brothers would say. And then on the other hand, it's my physical man who has the needs to tell stories, who has the needs to, of course, support my family, who has the needs to teach and all these other things. They're coming together at the same time in a big collision with Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows from the comments I received from comic book geeks who are not Christians at all, who just love the story because it reminds them of Star Wars or Game of Thrones,
mm-hmm.
to people who are really trying to grow spiritually. I got a remark on Twitter the other day, and it was so gratifying because the guy was like, man, this helped me understand First Samuel 15 in a way I've never thought I would.
That's awesome.
And so I'm like, yo, that's why we do this. This is why we do this. I am a comic book fan, but I'm also a Christian who wants to grow in my faith and spread a little bit of Jesus to this world.
Yeah.
Through whatever means necessary. And this just happens to be a really good way to do it.
Absolutely, and I can definitely understand that. I mean, I think I said it one of the last times you were on, like, reading through the comic, reading through Dominion Chapter 1, like, in those first opening pages, we get a glimpse into Saul and what's going on with him, and
mm-hmm.
in those first few pages, I felt so sympathetic to what he was going through.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever felt that before, like reading that story or hearing the story or seeing versions of it. I can't say I've ever experienced that before, like a true sympathy for like what he was going through as a character,
mm-hmm.
as a person. Yeah, and the thing is, Saul was a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was telling Scott Higa, Christian nerd, yesterday that we are all Saul. Whether you like it or not, we all have Saul in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's this selfishness, it's this hubris, it's this frailty that can sometimes fall prey to our worst base desires. And that's us. But Saul was a person, though. He wasn't just this picture of hubris.
Yeah.
No, he was a person, and there's a reason why he is the way he is, and he does make these bad decisions, and you will see the spiral into madness, but you're going to also see little points of reasoning why he is the way he is in the first place. And so that's the thing. I could have easily started with David and Goliath. I mean, that's, for me, everyone asks me that, where is David and Goliath? Well, for me, it's like, that's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
For me, I want to get into the pathology of Saul's madness and how it had this ripple effect to his whole entire family.
Yeah.
And, there will be periodic times when I do go very straight to chapter verse, like in the beginning of book 1. I start out with, you can find this particular scene here in the Bible, right? Now, Dominion isn't all that, though. Dominion is inspired by. So I kind of take artistic license to go different places, like expanding Michael's character, like you're going to see in chapter 2 and chapter 3, or delving into the queen and seeing her mindset, or getting into why Jonathan is so hard pressed to get his dad's approval, but he's never going to get it.
Yeah.
So that's the fun for me as a writer is, okay, how can I use the source material, reference it as much as possible, use those plot points, but also rocket into different realms of possibility for storytelling.
Speaking of Michael, can you tell us a little bit more about her as a character? Because I know you've shown her a lot of love on like Twitter and Instagram, and I'm loving the art that you've been doing of her.
Yeah. Michael. Now, for those of you guys who know the story, you know that Michael is Saul's daughter. You know that she was basically given to David as a trophy or as a reward for defeating Goliath. And then, of course, you see her being kind of cranky and cantankerous later on in the biblical text. But I wanted to develop a more well-rounded character out of Michael. I wanted to give her a purpose and a reason for being in this story. I wanted to give her more of a story than she received in the biblical text. That's why I went the artistic license route with her, so that I could expand. Not to mention, I wanted to develop characters that little girls could look up to.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason why Michael is now this kind of a freedom fighter. She basically, in the story, and I'm not giving away any spoilers, but Michael, she has a deeper desire in life than just being a pampered princess. Okay. Now, as you know, in chapter 1, I established this impending threat to Dominion at the borders. The Philistine threat is rising, and as Saul's mental state declines and degrades, so does Dominion. So Dominion is inextricably tied to Saul's mental state. So Saul is spiraling, Dominion is crumbling at the edges, and the enemies are chomping at the bit to get in.
Yeah.
And so Michael sees this threat, and she, in her own way, tries to mitigate that indirectly, but then finds in book 2 that she has to take a more direct route to save some lives. And so you're going to see her. She actually has access to a lot of surplus, old decommissioned military tech. And one of those things is her dad's old armor.
Dude, and it looks, the design of the armor, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the design of the armor is fantastic. Because it looks like a mech, but it looks like armor. I don't know how to...
Yeah, let me throw this up here, the time lapse of it to show the picture, because this is an awesome picture of it.
Like, it looks like armor. Like, it looks like physical armor that you would put on your body, but it also, it's a mech, right? It looks so cool.
Yeah, she drives it. So if you've ever seen, like, I loved Gundam.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of like that, where, it has a cockpit you get in. And the thing about the Seraphim armor is that she has this little eyepiece. And when she puts the thing on her eye, it just kind of fuses to her skin. It is a neural link to the armor. So it moves as she moves. Because of the fact that it's encoded to her dad's DNA, only he could wield it. But because she's the daughter, she has the capability to wield his armor to, an interesting effect, which we'll see in book 3. But yeah, so it's her. She kind of feels like it's her birthright to do something. And her mom, though, to the queen's chagrin, Queen doesn't really know a lot about the Queen knows a lot, but she doesn't know to the effect that her daughter is marauding around Dominion, trying to help people in this way, and she will not be happy about that, because the Queen is traditional, and the princess has a role, and the role is not to be a soldier. So there's going to be some upcoming conflict in regards to that too.
Yeah, and the one that's being shown, the one that was just shown on the screen, is probably one of my favorite drawings that I've seen so far. The one where she's cracking her knuckles. I love that. That's so awesome.
Yeah. Oh no, she's getting ready. What you're going to see in book 2 is kind of like the queuing up of her really getting into some real major battle in book 3. So book two is actually book two is very Star Warsy in a way, more so than anything, because in book one is the setup. It's okay, this is who Dominion is, but book two is my way of saying, okay, now I want to have a little fun.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an A story and a B story. The A story is Jonathan, and he's recounting this great battle where his father at the end of the battle almost kills him, and so we kind of get into the beginning of the threat and the setup of it. Actually, this part is from the Bible. This is when Jonathan and his armor bearer take on a small Philistine outpost, which escalates the Battle of Mishmash. And so this is kind of like my deconstruction of it in a very Star Warsy type way.
Mm-hmm. You said something earlier about giving little girls something, or giving girls someone to look up to, and I think that's super important, because I never really thought about that until I had a daughter.
Yeah.
And I know both Cross and I have daughters that are
Yeah.
similar in age, and you're right, man. Like the biggest one is Wonder Woman. Like they can look up to Wonder Woman and a
Yeah.
handful of other, women,
Yeah.
female characters. But like to your point, like having really strong female characters is really cool for your daughter.
Yeah. And why not biblical characters? You know what I'm saying? And there are strong women in the Bible, but they don't get shine time. They really
Yeah.
don't. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And this is my way of saying to my Christian audience, to my audience in general, because I have Christians and non-Christians, to my audience in general, but specifically to the Christian parents out there, that this is something that we have lacked in our storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we rely upon just going historical, you have to be within the confines of how history saw women.
Mm-hmm.
History relegated women to kind of like a secondary role, to a support role in a lot of ways. And that's valid. That's absolutely valid. But there are slivers of time in history where you see women rise up and take control and do things when the men were not able to do it.
Yeah.
Those are very clear in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, Esther and Ruth and Naomi, and telling their story. And these are very pivotal people when it comes to the lineage of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is me saying, okay, I want to take a character that's known, but I want to expand upon her story in a narrative route, in a fictitious route, but in a way that could really uplift, the strength of women in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's it, kind of like you said, there seems to be, like, in a lot of the stuff you've posted, there's definitely a focus more on Michael and her story, and like even get to see her take on her father's armor, different stuff. Like, if you read the biblical context to her, there's really not a lot to her that we know. She's really
No.
I wouldn't even say she's a supporting character, really. Like, she's got such a small part. And honestly, even part of that is it's mostly a negative view when you see it in that way. One of the things that she's most known for in the Bible is chastising David.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
But there's this whole person behind it, and to try and explore that and build her up, and kind of like Nitro was saying, is like, I've got a daughter now, and you want them to have those strong female role models as well. Like, especially in comic books. I think in comics for so long it was very much a boys area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, no girls allowed, and we almost got offended when women tried to come in.
Yeah. And the problem with that Cross, is that women, it's a double-edged sword, because yes, you do, and you have had female and women representation in comics, but they were written by men.
Yeah.
And so they were objectified, and you get this false narrative that a woman finds her strength through her sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where comics have taken women, and it's like going backwards. It's like, really? And so my thing is, no, man, no, I don't see Michael as a sexual character. I don't see her as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As she was presented in the historical context. No, in Dominion, she is just a significant pivotal role as her brother, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And so they're both on the cover of book 2. And if you'll notice, she's more represented
Yeah.
visually than Jonathan is, because to me, in book 2, her story is a little bit more significant.
Yeah, I'm just throwing the cover up there. I've got the cover for chapter 2 here, and it's beautiful artwork again. By the way, it looks amazing.
Thank you. The colors are by Chris Hunt. He's just an amazing a colorist, and the dude is just he's the yin to my yang as far as the artwork is concerned.
Yeah, he does some amazing stuff. I think I follow him on
Yeah.
Instagram as well, and he honestly does some
Yeah.
amazing work.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if that's the thing, if anyone's a comic book fan and they are all about the art for comics, like, that alone would be enough to draw them into Dominion, I feel, without even, like, delving into the story. Like, the artwork is honestly beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we really try to separate ourselves. I don't want to be seen as a Christian comic necessarily, although I'm a Christian. It permeates the book, but there's a negative connotation to Christian comics. When you think of Christian comics, you think of low quality, poor art, or poorly executed stories. Whereas me, I'm like, no, man, I'm attacking this story from a Hollywood context. You know what I'm saying? Making it cinematic. You know what I'm saying? I got, one of the best artists on my team. I also got one of the best co-writers in Daniel Hancock, who does his own. He did this fantastic audio drama about the life of Jesus called End of Darkness, and you can get that on Amazon. It's a fantastic audio drama, and it's like God brought these people to Dominion, and it's like, no, man, God is saying, I'm bringing you the best. And so I can give my able sacrifice to God through my artwork. And so why give him mediocre when I can give him, stellar?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Nitro and I have talked about this before. Like, when we were before we even launched the podcast, we were throwing around ideas for topics and stuff. And one of the ideas we were talking were like, why are Christian comics crap? It was like, literally, it's like there's so many Christian comics out there, and they claim to be Christian, and they're either like not worth your time, or some of the best ones are literally just, it's a retelling of the Bible story.
Well, I mean, my first experience, like even seeing Christian comics, like I grew up as a comic fan. I had comics ever since I was little. I had a small box that had just had a ton of Marvel and DC, and we used to go to the Christian bookstore occasionally, not a ton, but I remember I would just be walking around in there, and I got to the section and I saw comic books, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? We have Christian comics? I had no idea." And then I started flipping through them, and I'm like, "Really?
Really?
This is what we got?" So this is so cool.
It's like, but then stuff like this is just, honestly, it's phenomenal. Honestly, like, to get a Christian comic like this, which is like, it's a retelling of the biblical story, but it's from someone who's clearly a comic book fan and who's learned, you know what, see, instead of retelling the same story for the 50 millionth time, let's, reinvigorate it in a different way. We're getting the same message across, which is like, so many people miss the mark on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're getting this story from not just a fan, but a practitioner of the craft. I teach this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have developed master's level class for comic book publication and art at Liberty University, and I can't believe they let me do it, but they did. And so I'm able to now infuse the craft in a very high level way to students who can then go out and do work for the kingdom. And do it effectively, and help take back the narrative, and take back the battlefield that Satan has co-opted. It's not his. Yes, he controls it for the moment. The entertainment space, he controls it for the moment. He has the reins, but it's not his. This is Jesus. This is the Lord's that has been co-opted and corrupted. And so it's like our job, and I say in the end notes of Dominion 1 that somehow we have elevated the anti-hero over the hero. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, no, man, no, we can't we can't settle for that. You know what I'm saying? While I love Batman and I love the Punisher and Deadpool and all these other characters, they are anti-heroes.
Mm-hmm.
They are anti-heroes. You don't need to operate in the shadows, skirt the law in order to get good things done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so my thing is, let's take back the narrative. Let's steer subtly through our narrative. These moldable little minds that are consuming this stuff by the hour full, and steer them towards good things, steer them towards the fruit of the spirit and really good things. It doesn't have to be corny and cheesy and preachy. You know what I'm saying? To show nobility, to show kindness,
Yeah.
to show valiant, deeds of wonder. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we as storytellers have got to do, but we have not been doing it correctly. That's why material is relegated to the outskirts of entertainment.
I just think what you guys like, I can't overstate how important I think it is, like what you guys are leading with, because I think there's a collective groaning, like groundswell of Christians who have a creative spark in them that don't see a path forward.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, we're trying to build something here. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we have our Star Wars?
Yeah.
Dominion, and I said this to a lot of people, Dominion is going to be some kid's Star Wars. It is. Just like Star Wars was for me when I first saw it in 77. And it kind of ruled my whole imagination. Dominion is going to be that thing for some young little minds. And we got to be careful. With great power comes great responsibility. We got to be careful with how we usher these little minds into creativity, into an imagination, so that we don't sabotage the effort and lead them down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what's most important to me.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, like when you were on here, just like, again, just going back to the comics that I saw growing up, there were Christian comics. Like Cross said, a lot of times they were just kind of retelling of what the Bible said, basically. But a lot of times the quality, it was just bad. So like putting the onus, or just making sure you're having high quality output like you guys are doing, I think is critically important. Like even more so than like mainstream comics. Like you can't match it. It has to be like almost better than that.
It's got to be better. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like we seek to be better than average, so that we can actually get to the mainstream. And that's the goal. That's what we're trying to build. Sorry, I have a hard stop in about 5 minutes, but one of the things I wanted to say is that, some of the ways that we're doing this, we got the new Indiegogo campaign. There's a lot of swag on there. We're really trying to grow Terminus and grow Dominion in a way that, a lot of Christian families and a lot of, parents in general can kind of latch onto the brand and find some really good quality entertainment that they can invest in for their kids to really grow with, you know what I'm saying? So we're trying to build an audience that can grow with us, just like George Lucas did with Star Wars. Another thing that we're doing is we're starting a new channel on YouTube called Concept Art for Comics. And that's going to be, me breaking down my process when I do something like the Michael Mech when she's cracking her knuckles. That'll be the first one. Just me breaking down the time lapse and just talking about each and every step as we finish it. I talk about the tools I use. I talk about the method, about the end goal, the whole 9 yards, and it'll be so many different things dealing with comics and the behind the scenes of how to do it in a very professional and a high level. So that's going to be starting next week, actually.
That's awesome.
So that's coming out. And of course, the Dominion Chapter 2 digital drops right before Christmas. And so, you guys have all of the info about that. But the actual physical books We have physical books coming out in January, and our special edition books. So we have two different special edition types of books. We have a chrome cover for our books 1 and 2 that you can find on Indiegogo, but we also have a hardcover special edition that's going to bundle chapters 1 and 2 together. That's going to be signed. It's going to be a beautiful hardback book that I think is going to be amazing when we get it. So we've got a limited amount. We've sold some already, and so yeah, that's a really cool premium item.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely awesome, and it's totally worth it. I mean, even just if you don't get the hardcover and you get the single issues, like, I mean, like, even the creation of this is quality. It's not a cheaply made crap comic. It's like, it's proper solid. I mean, like, even the outside cover of this is stiff.
Yeah,
it's got that nice tooth to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very kind of textured cover material, which I love it. I love that stuff.
I mean, even flipping through the pages, it feels like it's good quality. Time and effort has went into this. And something I want to throw out there to you guys, because, like, to anyone that's watching, I didn't discuss this with the two of them beforehand, so we'll see where this goes. I actually would love to do, for Comics and Cross, to do a kind of giveaway for these, and for us to get to purchase a special copy of issue 1 and chapter 1 and chapter 2, to get special copies of them, the special editions signed by you. And we'll cover it and do that as a giveaway for people in the channel. I would love to do that and give that away as a gift to someone in the channel. Someone is watching can get that.
I'm definitely down with that.
And for us to pick that up, and we'll talk later whether it's we want to do the hardcover, whether we want to do the single issues or whatever. But I'd love to discuss that with you more and do that for anyone. So anyone that's watching, whether you're watching this live, whether you're listening, whether you're picking us up on YouTube and it's still early December, I'd love to do that as a kind of early giveaway Christmas present for someone.
Yeah, man, that would be awesome. And so I'm here for it. Unfortunately, guys, I gotta go. But Nitro, I know that we've talked about me coming back on and doing some actual technical stuff.
Yeah.
So let's set that up, and then we can definitely do that.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, because Nitro,
thanks, Dr.
Gentlemen,
Bell.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
It's good seeing you, Dr. Bell. See ya. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Have a good one, sir.
I'm gonna go turn off the sun behind my head.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Do. I don't know what happened there, but you disappeared in this glow.
Dude, I have no clue. There we go. I'll just sit like this the whole time.
No,
just
don't.
Like
We'll get the sheen off your head if you do that. Wow, that was blinding. I don't know what the heck's going on. What is going on with it? Oh my goodness.
Like that. Right there. Right there. Nope. Wait, what?
Okay, he's trying to blind me now. He's 100% trying to blind me.
I have no clue. No clue.
Are you trying to blind me?
Yeah, exactly. That was the goal.
You kept turning it and it's
Dude,
like, wow.
I was looking at the monitor while I was doing it, and the entire thing lit up. It was awesome.
I love that. It's like that Dr. Bell, fine. Me, fine. You just slowly disappearing in the sunshine glow behind your head.
It's funny because I wasn't looking at my video, and then all of a sudden I looked at it. I'm like, why am I hazy? Why is like there are angels ascending behind my head? Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyone who's managed to pop in and join us for Dr. Bell being here, thank you so much. I've thrown the links in chat for Terminus and for their Indiegogo. Go and check out the Indiegogo, by the way. There's a lot of great stuff there. And also the social medias to give the Minion comic a follow. It's a phenomenal book. I mean, Dr. Bell does a phenomenal story, and we definitely need to get him back on during.
He's a really good guy, man. Like for real. Like I'm not just saying that. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he is. He's a phenomenal dude, and just we definitely need to get him on the Art of the Hero. Like I literally want like you and him doing like a draw off or something.
Dude, I would get decimated.
But like,
it would literally look like a stick figure compared to his stuff. But it would be fun. It would be fun.
His stuff is amazing. I mean, the artwork he does is phenomenal for Dominion, and I hope I wasn't too presumptuous to throw that out there as well. I'd love to do a giveaway and get like a special edition of chapters 1 and 2, awesome. And just give that away to someone. I would have done it today, but we've got very little kind of viewership today.
Yeah.
So it's like you know.
We're just hopping back into the regular swing of things. So
yeah, so we're just getting back into it. I mean, unless like Coop really desperately wants it, and I think he's like the only one really kind of there at the moment. So it's like, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun having him back on, and I'm down for Dominion. Like, I still kind of want to delve into it more with him of like what we're getting in chapter 2, and just
I feel bad because I like all I can think about is Goliath. Like I want to see Goliath, and then he was like, "Yeah, this low hanging fruit," and I was like, "I know, but I want to see him. I just want more info."
that's low hanging fruit. But I kind of love that he's left it, because even in chapter 1, like Goliath
big
is
footprint.
hinted at. Like you get the big footprint and stuff, but like that's
So cool.
it. That's all we get. I want to ask about the fact of like, how the heck are you fitting all of this into 3 chapters? Like I know,
all right,
I know
that
he's,
was a question that I was going to ask him that I forgot to ask him. So
because I know he's doing David and Solomon as well. I know he's going to delve into
Yeah,
those stories
okay,
and go further
okay, that's
with
what it
it.
was. So it's 3 chapters with Saul, 3 chapters with David, and 3 chapters with Solomon, right?
I believe that's what he's going to do. But I'm
Yeah,
like, even
right.
between like David like becoming king, or even if you take that first chapter to be like David like on the run from Saul,
Yeah,
there's a lot like to still fit in there, because like you'll have to throw in like, I mean, I don't even know if chapter 2 introduces David and like him facing off with Goliath and the aftermath of that, and I'm like, there's a lot in this story.
Yeah,
and especially since he's also expanding on things, and I'm like, I wish he could have hung about longer. We definitely had more questions, and but obviously I didn't want to delve too deep into stuff because I don't want to push any spoiler territory right before the book drops. Obviously, maybe when we get him back on again, we can delve a little further into it.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask him was like how do you not, like when you're getting towards the end of like a project or a book or whatever, how do you not just be like, all right, I just need to get this done and get it out of the door? So like your quality dips, like, because that's how my brain is. I'm like, all right, dude, I just need to finish this and get this over with. But like, he's obviously holding himself to a very high standard, which is really cool.
Yeah,
like I just have a question about how he does that.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll definitely create a chance to delve into that a little bit more. It's like, I wish we had more time, but obviously I wanted to get him on in time for the book dropping and stuff like that, and everything like that. So yeah, that interview's kind of segment of it's done now, so it's mostly just us. So there's
So how's it going, Cross?
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
How are you doing?
I mean, yeah, things have been going pretty good. For any of you who weren't aware, I have been out for 5 weeks with a new baby here.
And I did not burn the podcast to the ground.
Nitro has done an amazing job. I didn't, for the sake of things, didn't put your Among Us stuff up on the YouTube. I left it. But on our YouTube channel, you can find at least 3 episodes now of The Art of the Hero that Nitro did, which was absolutely amazing. Done a phenomenal job. Some nice challenging pieces for you, apparently, from a lot of my friends in the online wrestling stuff. Throwing you characters.
Dude, Ads' one was pretty, again, it was really creepy.
Oh yeah, Ads is completely into the sort of creepy, dark sort of characters. Like I've been in a few leagues with a few of his different creations, and they're all like terrifying and creepy for the most part. It's like that's where he functions. So, but at the same time, he comes up with some really cool designs.
Yeah.
So I can't fault him on that, you know.
Dude, have you finished Claws?
I have not finished Claws yet. But
I haven't either.
Good opportunity to talk about it is next week. We were going to do it this week. Thankfully, we didn't. We were going to be talking about Claws. And that is going to be our indie comic book club book for December, because it's how Santa Claus began.
Yeah.
So it's the story of Santa Claus told in a bit more of a realistic, gritty way. Going through the first issue, automatically my mind dove into the Rankin Bass Santa Claus coming to town.
I've never read that or saw that or read it.
You never seen that? The Rankin Bass stuff? I thought pretty much every American had seen that. It's like the puppetry sort of thing of like that. The stories, like you get the like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and
all
those things.
Yeah.
The story of Santa Claus is coming to town. It's like the origin of Santa. It feels very much like that in terms of a town with a guy who's like cracking down and everything, and the kids aren't allowed toys, and he starts to rebel against that and all this sort of stuff. But at the same time, you've got Santa with an axe in hand and a wolf as his friend, like taking down a reindeer for meat, and you know, There's some really cool stuff in it, really cool art in it, really cool imagery.
Santa is jacked. He is jacked.
Oh yeah, like I love that Santa is literally like a wild man. Like he is a guy.
Yes.
That's what he does. Is like he's not like a toy maker or just this guy. Like no, he literally goes out and hunts and sells meat and pelts to people in the villages and stuff. It's such a cool concept. So I'm really excited to delve into that.
Yeah.
Next week, and also take the opportunity to shout out our next book. That we're going to be doing. I'm thinking of taking the break in January from it and starting doing this one in February. And we're going to do the Indie Book Club every second month, but we're going to be looking at Chew.
Oh yeah, that's the one that you were talking about. That's right.
Yeah, so for Chew, just taking the blurb off the back of it because it's the kind of the best concept for it. Tony Chew is a detective with a secret, a weird secret. Tony Chew is I don't even know how to say this, is cybopathic, which means he gets psychic impressions from whatever he eats. It also means a hell of a detective as long as he doesn't mind nibbling on the corpse of a murder victim to figure out who done it and why. He's been brought on to the Special Crimes Division of the FDA, the most powerful law enforcement agency on the planet, to investigate their strangest, sickest and most bizarre cases. Yeah, so like Tony Chew, like the detective in it, is basically got this power where if he eats something, he sees the history of the thing. And that includes anything from simple as like eating an apple, he sees like the orchard that it was in, to like if he eats a hamburger, he sees the cow like getting slaughtered and stuff.
Oh wow, yeah.
So he has a tendency to eat beets because apparently beetroot is the only thing it doesn't happen with. And like he can't stick beetroot, but like he eats tons of it because here's a lot of views, some like the artwork stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pages right now on Amazon.
Yeah, the artwork's really pretty sweet for a very different art style from Claw's, very more comic booky, darker sort of look to it.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say that the art is really interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it before.
So it's a little bit different, and also we talked about how Claus was a Will Eisner like nominee, like for the Will Eisner Award. Yeah, this one actually won a Will Eisner Comics Industry Award winner.
That's awesome.
And a Harvey Awards winner. So like even on the back of it, it's got awards up.
That's awesome.
So it's an award-winning book. So in February we're going to be looking at Volume 1, Taster's Choice from Chew. So also as well, if you click on, I'll throw the link up in chat, there's a link to the comic shop locator to find your local comic book store to see if they have it in stock, or if in doubt and you can't find it there, we also have the reading list saved on Amazon where we're going to put all of our Indie Comic Books Club books. So you can find Lock and Key on there, you can find Claws, which is on there for next week, and then I've added Chew onto that as well.
I'm adding that right now to my cart.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good book, and it's actually going at a decent price right now. It's not too expensive at the moment, which, you know, this is probably the good time to pick it up. But yeah, so how have things been then since I've been gone? No,
I think they've been good, man.
Yeah,
I feel like we've gotten a lot of comic book news, like in the past month. Like the big one for me is Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight. Hello.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
That's awesome.
Moon Knight. I'm like, we heard rumors about that before, and then because we got her announced as Moon Knight, we got, was it Haley Steinfeld? Is her name?
Yeah.
It's like she's still not officially being confirmed as Kate Bishop, but she's been filmed like recording scenes with Jeremy Renner for Hawkeye. Yeah. So I'm like, why aren't you just announcing it? Unless she's playing like a totally different character, why haven't you just announced it at this point?
You know, one thing that I'm super stoked about is WandaVision. I cannot wait.
Yeah, we got a release date for that. Is it like January 21st, was it?
Something like that. It's like the second or third week in January.
Yeah, it's like they finally dropped that. And I'm glad we're finally getting it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gutted we're not getting it for the end of this month.
I'm just like, all right, so I don't understand why they just didn't release it this year. If they're still releasing it before Black Widow, because my understanding is that Black Widow was like a precursor to all these shows, but they're releasing Black Widow in like April or something like that. So I don't know why they just didn't.
So it's like they pushed it back, but they pushed it back to January. Like, why did we push it back to?
Yeah, there's no reason to push it back. Why did we do that?
Like, you could have just kept it where it was. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But like we got that sort of news as well. Also as well, did you see the news for what is it for Warner Brothers? Like,
Yeah, so I wasn't really following that information. So can you like surmise
so it
or
started.
summarize?
So it started off with the Wonder Woman announcement that on December 25th, Christmas Day, Wonder Woman hits theaters,
Hmm.
but they're also releasing it on HBO Max the same day, so you can watch it in
Wow.
theaters or you can watch it on HBO Max at home. And
Okay.
they want to give the theater experience because a lot of people are wanting it. Like most people
Mhm.
are still saying they would like to go to theaters to see things rather than
Yeah.
do it at home. And for anyone who's still conscious about it, like for example, I probably do it at home because I'm diabetic, so I'm still fairly high risk.
Yeah.
So for that safety option, I would stay there. But then they dropped a bomb of an announcement of, oh yeah, we're not just doing that with Wonder Woman 84, we're doing that with everything in our 2021 slate. The day it drops in
Everything
cinemas,
is coming.
it's going to drop to HBO Max.
Sheesh. That's their stock just went up, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, so like, yeah, we're just going to drop it. And I'm like, literally haven't bought HBO Max, holding off. That announcement was made, and I'm like, dang, I could go to the theatre and see all these things, or I could just pay the monthly thing for HBO Max and get them all as they drop.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
It's tempting. It's definitely tempting.
Let me be honest, that tempted me more than the idea of, like, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League or
How dare you?
any of the DC stuff that's dropping. Like, the fact of, like, their whole slate is dropping, like, on
So-
HBO Max as the movies are released, and I'm like, I'm down.
I know this is dumb, but I read that when I read the news, I read that as everything is dropping at one time. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's how you go bankrupt.
I know, that's what I was saying. I
Like,
was that
everybody
doesn't-
literally gets, like, their free membership to HBO Max and binges everything that's coming out this year.
just binges 2021 movies.
And then cancels
like
it
a week.
after January. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Oh wow, so that's including Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
the Matrix, the new Matrix.
Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally go through the slate of, like, Warner Brother movies that are meant to come out this year, or, well, next year, but are coming out in the next 12 months. They're all dropping on HBO Max. They're still releasing in theaters, but it's dropping alongside that.
Godzilla versus Kong. Shoot, I'm a big
I'm
King Kong
desperate for
versus
that
Godzilla
movie.
fan.
I'm fed
so.
up with that movie getting pushed back. I loved Godzilla King of Monsters. I'm desperate for that
So
one to drop.
I grew up with the old '60s version of King Kong versus Godzilla, and I watched it so many times. I wore the tape out, so I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah, I'm all for the new Godzilla movies. I love them. Like the 2014 one or the 2016 one? Like the first one of the reboot. Like
Hmm.
it was okay.
Yeah,
Like
I liked it. I thought it was good.
It was decent enough, but like I've got the big issue most people have with that movie. Like if I'm watching a Godzilla movie, freaking show me Godzilla.
Yeah, it was like
I
Jaws.
want
Like you didn't
more-
see Godzilla until the end of the movie.
Yeah, and it's like, and then they went in, and I think they course corrected with that when they went into King of Monsters and they just went all out, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this is a Godzilla movie. This is
King of
what I
Monsters
want.
was awesome.
As an
It gets a lot of hate, and I don't know. I don't understand
I don't
because
know
that is
why.
an awesome
I love
movie.
it. I'm like, I completely lost myself in it. It was so good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm like, I'm all for it. And like that movie got me hyped. Like, see the announcements of like Kong versus Godzilla, and I'm like, oh, how are they going to screw that up? I saw King of Monsters, and I'm like, I'm down. I want to see this monkey and lizard fight. I'm down for this.
Yeah, I remember like when that came out, Monsters. What was it? King of Monsters, Godzilla King of Monsters. I personally have no problem going to see a movie by myself, and my wife is not a Godzilla fan, so I was like, all right, I'm going to go see this by myself. I'm going to enjoy this in the theater, and it was fantastic. It's awesome.
Yeah, like it's one of those ones I've seen after it came out of theater, and I kind of wish I had like went into theater and seen it because
Mhm.
like it was so cool. But I've been enjoying a lot of the monster movies lately, like Godzilla, King of Monsters. I loved Kong Skull Island. I really enjoyed.
Dude,
as
Kong
well.
Skull Island was awesome.
Like I really enjoyed that as well, and I'm like I'm down to see what they can do with this. You know,
I'm a sucker for a monster, like a big monster movie. I
a
just
good
really
monster
like-
movie. I'm down
like,
for. Like see
any
something
type of kaiju type stuff. I even like Pacific Rim. I'm gonna get some hate for that. I don't care. Not the second one. The second one was just god awful.
Yeah.
But the first one was I thought
good.
was great.
First one was good. I didn't see the whole thing of Pacific Rim. It's like, and I've never had the urge to like really go and delve into it. But what I caught of it, like I saw a good chunk of it, and I'm like, yeah, it's
I thought it
good.
was awesome. I
mean,
don't care what anybody
It's
says.
a cool. I mean, monsters fighting mechs. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. I mean,
Exactly.
I grew up on Power Rangers. I'm pretty much what I lived in as a kid. You
Same.
know, you
Same.
know what I mean? It's like that's what I grew up on. The only monster movie, and I'm aware I'm in the minority for this. I still don't understand how I'm in the minority for it, but I'm aware that I am. I absolutely hate Cloverfield.
I'm not a huge fan of Cloverfield,
I
honestly.
I say I hate it, and then like all these people absolutely adore it, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of like footage, because like I want to see the monster, I want to see the story, I want to see where it came from, I want to see
Yeah.
it fighting and destroying things and people trying to stop it. I don't want to see this from the shaky cam footage of this guy who's no clue what's going on.
Yeah. I think it was at the tail end of the shaky cam like string of movies, like all that. The Blair Witch started it, and then it went on for years, and I think Cloverfield kind of put the pin in it. But when you're going out of your way not to show the main monster of the movie, as opposed to the story dictates that you don't see the full monster until the end, but when you're actually like physically going out of your way not to show them,
Yeah,
it's
like
just like,
even at the
what
end,
are we here for?
Even at
What
the
are we
end,
here
you
for?
don't get that good a look at it. Like I had
I
to literally
know.
go on YouTube and like find videos that gave better looks at it.
Oh yeah, I know. I was looking at like concept images, like what does this monster look like?
And the funny thing is that like that literally all these concepts came out because he was doing this whole like Lost thing that J.J. Abrams did of like dropping all this stuff, and I'm like, is this going to be like, you know, like Leviathan and Behemoth and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Is this going to be like, is this like a reboot of a gritty Power Rangers thing? And all these theories were going crazy, all these monster designs were out there, and literally every one of them was better than what we got.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I mean, like there was concepts of this big, massive Godzilla-looking thing with tentacles coming out the water. There was concepts that the whole island of New York had actually been built on the back of like this big creature,
Oh, dude,
and
that's
it was
sweet.
moving. And I'm like, these are great concepts. And what did we get? Some freaking bug-looking thing, like the thing
Like a
from Men in
mantis.
Black. That.
Yeah.
And do you know what the funny thing is? Like, I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is technically a carry-on from it. I love it. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Really?
I really enjoy it
Oh
because
man.
I enjoy it because I'm fully aware it's not meant to be the same sort of movie. Like, if
Yeah.
you take it for what it is on its own, like, I love suspense and thriller things, and the whole time that juxtaposition of, was there really an apocalypse that he's saving them from, or is he just a nutter that grabbed her off the side of the road?
Yeah.
And
I
the
get
build
that.
up for that, I'm like, I'm all down for that. And John Goodman, like, doing that, I'm down for him. You know, and then just throwing that end bit in there of the fact of like, yeah, he was right. The world ended. There's aliens. You know, I'm like, I'm down for it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Hold on, I've got a visitor. Hold on one sec.
Oh, we got a visitor. No worries.
All right, I gotta step away just for very quickly. I'll be right back.
Wow, this is getting me back for 5 weeks of not being here. You're gonna abandon me now.
Just continue talking about Cloverfield Lane and how awesome the movie it was.
Go on, bro. Go get her.
I'll be right back.
I got it. So yeah, so like I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited for the fact that we've got Warner Brothers dropping everything to HBO Max. It's definitely something that really caught my attention and wanted me, and it's making me want to pick it up. It's making me want to actually, because I don't have HBO Max yet. It's making me want to delve into that subscription service, because yeah, there's some amazing movies coming out from Warner Brothers this year that, if I'm already paying for HBO Max, I'm technically getting them for free. So like, I'm down for that. You know, whether it's the DC movies or like The Matrix or King Kong, stuff like that, I'm down for it, you know.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries. I was just wrapping up that section a little bit, saying like, yeah, like this stuff that's happened, like all these amazing movies dropping to HBO Max, like I'm down for this, dude.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the movies, and all right, so I was a huge the Mortal Kombat movies that came out back in the day. I know they were really bad.
Oh yeah, they're awful,
They were
but
really
they're good.
cheesy, but they have a whole special place in my heart, and I totally forgot that they were making a reboot. They were like
So
rebooting
they
it.
are. I forgot.
And
about
it's a
that.
Warner Brothers. It's coming out on HBO Max. Dude, they got a lot of good movies coming out. I'm just looking at King Kong versus Godzilla, Space Jam, the new one, Suicide
yeah.
Squad, Dune.
Oh yeah, the new Dune. That's right.
They're doing a biopic about Elvis, which I was not aware of.
Nope, I had no idea
Anyways.
about that one. That's crazy, man. I mean, that's probably the biggest news that we've had in a while, is the fact
Yeah.
that they're going to be dropping everything. And I'm like, I love the fact there was backlash at Disney for this,
Yeah.
because like,
Dude.
Warner Brothers basically went, hey, we're going to drop everything at the same time it hits theater. So if you've got HBO Max, you get it.
And everybody was like, "Yay!"
And then everyone went, "Wait, why did I just pay $40 for a crap version of Mulan that is now free if you waited like
Dude.
from when it dropped to like the start of December? It's now free to watch on Disney Plus. Guess what?
Yeah.
I can watch it in Disney Plus. I haven't. I can though, and I didn't spend money
Yeah.
because I already had Disney Plus. And I'm like, I don't get why they did that. I get they're trying to like think of new ways to do stuff, but like when you've already dropped movies, like they dropped Onward like earlier this year, straight to it and stuff, when you've done stuff like that and then go, hey, you can get Disney Plus Premium, so you can get access to these movies earlier. Like, why?
Why would I do that
When in
it's
a couple
coming
of
out
months it's going to
anyways?
be free anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I'm already paying for your service. Don't make me double that payment
Yeah, it's like
just to get something early.
it was
That
like
doesn't make
$40
sense.
or something. And I'm like, that's more than I would pay at the theater. That's more than I
Yeah.
would pay for like the freaking Blu-ray combo. Like they come out at like $25, and I'm like, are you seriously going to make me pay that?
I
Like,
think
if-
companies are still trying to figure out, like, with everything that's going on, what is the best streaming model? Because did you hear the news? Like, Disney is trying to combine with Hulu. Like, they're going to make just one streaming service.
That makes sense, to be completely honest, because Disney, when they bought out Fox, they already got a massive.
They got
stake
all
in
the
Hulu.
R-rated properties.
Yeah, they
but
got like
they can't really drop on Disney.
but they got a massive stake in Hulu as well. Fox had a massive stake
That's true.
in them.
That's true.
So like they do own part of Hulu anyway. So like,
Yeah.
and they've pretty much been doing that. They've pretty much been using Hulu as a anything we can't get onto Disney Plus, drop it over there.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I read something a couple weeks ago that Disney was gonna have a Disney 18 plus category for like some of their like Deadpool and stuff like that type of stuff.
Yeah, because if you go to Hulu, like I seen it just the other day actually, it may have been yesterday I seen it. Like if you go to Hulu, you'll find like Deadpool and Deadpool 2 have dropped there now and different stuff. Like they're starting to drop some of these properties they now own.
Yeah.
Especially ones like that, like Deadpool and Deadpool 2 were money makers. You can't just sit on
Huge.
those and not do anything with them.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney's all about the moolah, so it's drop them so we can get people watching them, get more people's. Especially since, like, you know, if you do the special bundle, like we did the bundle for that, you get Hulu as well.
Yeah, that's
along
what we
with
did
Disney
too.
Plus and ESPN. And it's like you get them all together, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
We
why not?
already had an account with Hulu, so yeah, I get to keep Hulu and save a bit of money on it. Yeah.
I think Hulu is probably one of the better streaming services, in my opinion.
It's really good. Like we use Netflix for like Netflix originals or for older shows mostly. For Hulu though, see if you want like stuff that's currently on TV, it's like the only way to get it now is like Hulu's the best one for it.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
I really only have Netflix for The Office, and that's going away in December. So
Oh, is it? Is that going away?
yeah, NBC has NBC has their own streaming service.
Oh yeah,
I
they've
think.
got Peacock now.
Yeah, so it's basically, but I got the full box set on DVD. So I'm pretty stoked.
I
about
need to
it.
finish watching The Office. Like I literally got up till when Michael Scott left.
It gets
And
worse.
like I've had like no, like don't get me wrong, there's been a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I've never really went back to it, but I've had no urge to, and I'm like, Michael Scott's gone. I'm like, he's literally one of the main reasons I'm watching this show is him.
Well, it's funny because, like, you know, a lot of shows tank towards the end, and I was laughing because I was watching the Infinity Bros on Twitter talk about How I Met Your Mother, and I forgot who it was Max. I think he was just trashing the crap out of it the last season or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, The Office does go down in quality after Michael Scott leaves, but it's still absolutely 100% watchable, and I think it's still good. So it goes from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 7 or 6.5. I wouldn't say 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10.
Maybe need to check it out then, because I know they bring in
Yeah.
a whole bunch of great actors and stuff to do stuff. Like I've seen them bringing in like James Spader and stuff that like buys out the company and things like that. He was brought in to replace Michael and ends up owning it.
Yeah.
I love that that's never really explained. It's just like he's in charge now. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
like Will Ferrell's in it at some point.
Yeah, Will
they
Ferrell
got a
was
lot
in
of
it
good-
and stuff.
Idris Elba is in it. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen like that stuff, and they've got some great characters in it. They've got some great actors that come on board. So I maybe need to go and finish checking it out. But like, yeah, Netflix, like most of the stuff I watch on Netflix now are honestly some of the Netflix original stuff, because like they've got so much comic book properties that they own now that that's where you see the live action versions of stuff.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's got Avatar and Legend of Korra now, so like it's easy.
My wife and I just binged The Crown. We just finished it. That's actually a really good show. But
Hannah watches The Crown. I've gotten really no inkling to watch it, probably because
well, you've lived it, so
I come from the country where it's from. Like, it's so weird watching her talking about the latest season. Like, yeah, Princess Diana's in it. I'm like, oh wow, we're actually up to when I was alive now. Princess Diana died after I was born, so like we're actually at the modern day sort of stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of not anything that we've been talking about, how is Dragon Ball Z going? You like that segue?
Yeah, we're talking about crap shows, so why not?
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to go. You're not a fan.
I am through the first disc.
Not a fan. Wow.
Castlevania. Oh, here's Ravenite speaking. Castlevania, Black Mirror, and Blood of Zeus are all great shows on Netflix. I really want to check out Blood of Zeus, and I've not looked at it yet.
I've never even heard of that, actually.
It's like an animated thing. I think kind of like think of the veins of like their Castlevania show. Like, it's kind of like an animated thing, but like I'd seen a couple of trailers for it. I do need to check it out though.
Castlevania, is that the anime on Netflix? If so, I've seen it and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think Blood of Zeus has kind of done the same sort of styling of it a little bit. But yeah, that's it. Netflix does have some great original stuff. Don't get me wrong, they have some utter crap as well, but they have some good original stuff. Same animation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that it was done in the same sort of vein as that. So like, yeah, if you like the Castlevania stuff, like, and I've seen the trailer for Blood of Zeus, and I'm like, it looks interesting.
How have I not heard of that? I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I need to actually check out the show though. It's one of those ones that's in my list. I've just not gotten to it yet, which is an excuse for not watching half the stuff I've got saved on my list on Netflix. But
I love like Greek mythology type stuff, so I'm sure this will be right up my alley.
Oh wow, so you're almost through it then, Ravenite. Yeah, 2 episodes left. Is it 2 seasons of it now they've got, or is it just 1 season? Because I felt like a second season dropped of it. I can't remember for the life of me though if it totally is. But yeah, while you're looking that up, yeah. So I've been watching Dragon Ball Z.
I promise you, it gets better. I promise you.
It's freaking better. I'm through the first disc, and I'm like, I don't know if it's because it's 20-minute episodes, but I feel like this story, like the first 10 episodes, could have been told in 3.
Oh, I agree. So all right, so just to give you a little behind the scenes,
ridiculously.
They have a different version of Dragon Ball Z. It's called Dragon Ball Z Kai, where basically all the seasons are shrunk down. And so it's like
Cliff Notes of it, basically.
Yeah, however many episodes are in a season, just cut that time down by like half. That's a season of Dragon Ball Z.
Can I watch that instead? Because Goku's been running along this freaking snake bridge for like 5 episodes.
And I did warn you. I said, like, when they do, like, power-ups.
No, I was pulling this up with you. No. You told me when they start to get their powers and they start to power up and stuff. I'm expecting, like,
there's other stuff that gets drawn out, too.
I'm expecting 5 episodes of Super Saiyan building up and all that crap. Like,
that will come.
I was not expecting 5 episodes of Goku running on a bridge and nothing happening. Oh, he almost fell off once. And now he's running again.
Yeah, it gets better, I promise.
Also, Gohan is the most annoying little brat in the world. I cannot stand him. Why am I focusing on him?
That doesn't go away until like season 6. So just throwing that out there.
Season 6, he's annoying me now. Like, Piccolo's doing the whole training thing with him, and I'm like, I'd rather watch Piccolo.
Piccolo's a jerk, though.
He's an interesting character, though. He's an interesting character. He's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I love the training thing though. It's like that. It's like okay, I'm going to train you because we don't know when your dad's coming back. So
I'm going to throw you into a mountain.
We need to start training you now. So I'll see you in 6 months. Bye. Like, wait, what?
If you leave me here?
If you survive 6 months, I'll train you. It's like, okay.
It does get better, man. There's I promise you, it gets better.
I like because like I thought
you just got to get into it.
Because I'm not going to lie.
Like, I need.
Okay, like, so let me put it this way. We're going to do a show on this and delve into it, but my big things right now are, first of all of you people who told me watch Dragon Ball Z without watching Dragon Ball, you are liars. They spend the first, 4 episodes, recapping Dragon Ball and talking about the epic battle of Goku and Piccolo and all this stuff. And I'm throwing in, who are these people? Why are they Why were they enemies? Why are they now friends? Why is this a big deal? Wait, did we not know that Goku was an alien? Wait, what happened now? Oh, well, we got a permission thing, I think.
Sorry, R Gundam. We don't want to buy followers, but thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like, who got timed out for what there? But yeah, so it's like, recapping all this stuff, and I'm like, who's this? Oh, he's going to go see Master Roshi. Who's Master Roshi? Who's the guy with no nose and dots on his forehead? Why is he friends with Goku? Who's the chick with the blue hair?
Krillin? Oh, Krillin is my boy, man. Krillin's probably my favorite character. So basically, all right, so just in a nutshell, Master Roshi owned a martial arts school. It was called the Turtle School.
I'm 10 episodes in. I get that now that he's the master, but I jumped into episode...
You get it now, though. The story explains itself. Even though you have a lot of questions up front, it will eventually explain itself, I promise you.
Maybe Piccolo, they fight as like Goku's got a brother. Why does he have a brother? Why is he trying to destroy the... Oh, it doesn't matter. He's dead. Wait, Piccolo lost his arm in that fight, and now he's regrowing it, and... Like, they have a tail. Why do they have a tail? Why does ripping the tail off stop them from turning into the monster beast? It's like... I thought we were going to do a time jump. See, when we went and like, okay, these other Saiyans are coming and they're like a year out. I'm like, okay, so we're going to have like a time jump thing. No, we're not going to time jump. That's going to be the season finale, and we're literally going to show the build up of this year of Gohan barely surviving, Goku running along a bridge, and the other ones like enlisting people to go do this other training that we might eventually get to before the end of the season, but we don't know if we will yet.
All right, so when Vegeta comes in the picture. When Vegeta comes in,
that's one of the other Saiyans. Aye, because I've heard a lot of people talk about him. I've seen.
Yeah, and when Frieza comes in, I think that's when it starts getting super interesting, in my opinion. If anybody is in the comments and is a DBZ fan, just call me out if I'm incorrect.
I'm going to give it to the end of season 1, but like, and I'd like to point out, by the way, I'm not hating on anime. I enjoy certain anime. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't go like, I've not watched recent stuff like a lot of people talk about, like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, all that.
We got to watch Attack on Titan though. That should be one.
We add that to the list.
We do.
I'm like, I've not watched that stuff, but I do enjoy anime. When I was younger, I was a massive fan of Bleach. That was my jam completely. That's
my wife's jam.
You know, it's like I watched Old School Ninja Scroll, the movie, and the TV show for it. My favorite anime, 100%, is Death Note. I love the story in Death Note and the juxtaposition with Light and L and all that. So like, I'm not an anime hater. It's not like I'm not a fan of it. I do wonder, watching Dragon Ball Z at this point, of like how many people think it's amazing based on nostalgia goggles because they grew up with it.
Yeah, you could be right.
I do wonder if that's a factor, because I'm watching it and I'm like, Goku better do something freaking amazing soon, because right now he's done nothing.
Yeah, it gets better, I promise.
Except screw up. In the fight with his brother, he literally grabs his brother's tail, which was his plan, to hold him still. Don't know how that works, not questioning it. For like freaking Piccolo to do this massive power-up move that like blows up mountains to try and kill him.
Yeah.
This was his plan, and he legitimately gets talked out of holding the tail and gets the crap kicked out of him. Like, he dies. It was your own fault.
Yeah.
It was literally your own fault that you ended up in that position. Don't get me wrong, we're going to go into a whole thing with this, we're going to do a whole thing, but I'm 10 episodes in, I'm through the first disc.
It's 4 discs, right?
I don't know, it feels like 50. I feel like I should be at the end.
Are we still going to be friends after this, Cross?
I don't know. Like, I feel like as much as you were annoyed at making you watch Firefly because you hate Joss Whedon, like, I feel like we're going to have issues after this.
All right, just to be fair though, I was not that you're not, but I think I was pretty fair with Firefly.
You gave it a fair
I was
shake.
pretty open-minded. I gave it a fair shake.
And I'm doing the same.
And I didn't completely hate it.
No.
I'll throw that. I did not completely hate it.
No, you did not. You weren't a massive fanboy for it, but you did not completely hate it, which, I will give you that.
But to echo your sentiment, I think a lot of people might like Firefly for sentimental, nostalgic reasons, as opposed to it actually being as good as some people think it is. Now, again, not that it's not good.
This is true. There might definitely be nostalgia because there was a whole bunch of stuff around Firefly. I'm not one of those people though, because I watched it after it was cancelled, long after it was cancelled, and even at that, I watched the movie first. I didn't watch the show first, even. So like, I'm definitely not one that watches that with nostalgia, but like, I'm going to give Dragon Ball Z a fair shake. I'm going to give it a fair chance. I'm going to watch the whole first season at least and go through it with you, and I'm willing to watch more.
Okay.
After watching the first season, I do have a thing of like Dragon Ball's literally on Hulu. I might go and try and binge through that just to kind of get some backstory on stuff.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that.
I feel like I'm missing a whole bunch of story.
I mean, as you go further in Dragon Ball Z, I don't think there's callbacks to Dragon Ball, but they're explained in Dragon Ball Z. So like, I don't really. Yeah, I mean, there's a guy called Mr. Satan. He's a wrestler. They call him Hercules in the show. He was a pretty big character in Dragon Ball Z, but again, it explains it in Dragon Ball Z, the show. So I don't really.
Okay, maybe
I mean, if you want to, definitely do it. But
yeah, maybe I just need to keep giving it some time, and I'll explain more of the stuff. And I'm like,
yeah,
I feel like, how are you going to go back and explain all this stuff when we've got this whole new world of explanation? Because like, we learn where Goku comes from and all that, and it's like, it feels like there's a lot of exposition to come for what's ahead, let alone what's been. But I'm keeping up with it. Okay.
One gripe that I do have, and this is not just with Dragon Ball Z, this is with a lot of shows in general, that they train to beat this most powerful thing that they've ever faced in their life, and they beat it, and then, oh, here's an even more powerful, kind of the same thing, we got to train more to beat this one, and then it just keeps going.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're kind of used to that with comic books. I mean, like,
yeah, it happens. Yeah,
I mean, what's one of the gripes with the Flash TV show? It's like, how does he beat every villain? Like, I have to run even faster than I ran before, and I'm like, literally, you can. At some point, you have to stop. It's going to be impossible to go faster.
Yeah,
it's not possible without becoming like a nothing in the universe. You know. Ravenite saying Firefly was only okay to me. I went in knowing it was only one season, so I didn't get all into it. I can understand that, not getting invested in it, and I completely understand. Like, it is, I love Firefly. I understand it can be an overhyped show. Like, there's a rabid fan base around it, and that are all gung ho that it's the best thing ever. And I love Firefly. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've got a signed Firefly poster behind me. My plan is to get the whole cast to sign it and meet them at cons. I've only met one so far. Even then, I can't see the whole cast anymore since the passing of Ron Glass, R.I.P. to Shepherd Book.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But like, my plan is still to get it signed by all of them. But like, I'm aware it's not a perfect show, and I'm aware it's overhyped. But I think a lot of things get like that. There's very few things I think can live up to their hype.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like Dragon Ball Z, like, I've heard nothing but people talking about how amazing this show is, and I'm like, I know going in it was never going to live up to the hype that everyone was giving it. Because there's the nostalgia goggles of everybody watching it as a child that have grown up with it, mixed with the fact of like, I'm watching this compared to some other anime, and it's like, it's definitely very dated in 80s 90s sort of era.
Yeah, it's definitely late 80s early 90s.
Like, you can tell, like, I mean, you can tell watching it, like, the animation's very much from that era, the storytelling's very much from that era. So it's like, it's like reading a comic book or watching a TV show from back then.
Yeah,
you have to take it for what it was. You have to take it for the time era that came in. You know, it's not going to compete with, like, the animation of that's never going to compete with the animation of like modern ones. Like, I've seen clips of like Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia and these modern anime, and they look great. It's never going to compete with that, because you can't compete that animation style. That's you know, that's like taking someone who's like, you know, draws something that's like really like slick like Jim Lee and comparing it to someone who initially drew Marvel like Jack Kirby. They're both great artists in their own right.
Yeah.
But things have changed a lot in the last 60, 70 years of comic books, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot more nuance in art now than there was back then. Like in comics, I think, at least. But yeah, I think you would like Attack on Titan. It's a really cool show. I think I've seen the first and second season. I think Joey and I own those. It's a really cool show, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
it doesn't drag.
I mean, it sounds like a really cool show, like people living within the city and these big, massive Titan monsters like coming around, and like we talked about earlier, like with the Godzilla and stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of like kaiju and monster stuff. I'm definitely down for that. I think, you know, Japan does that well, probably does it better than anyone. You know, it's like doing the kaiju stuff. So like, it's a variation of that and a new story. So like, I'm definitely down for that, and like I definitely want to check out My Hero Academia as well, just because it is a superhero thing. I gravitate to superhero stuff, obviously, being a comic book fan, so like I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But like I think Dragon Ball is definitely the starting point.
Yeah, I get your feedback on Dragon Ball Z though. I totally 100% think that
Like
maybe a good portion of the drive for fandom behind that is nostalgia. Just because, honestly speaking, from an American standpoint, that was legit one of the first ever animes that was a serialized anime that we were able to watch on TV.
oh yeah, I mean like that's what
That and
birthed the
Pokemon.
whole...
I never watched Pokemon, but I mean,
See, that's
Dragon
the
Ball Z
difference.
was it.
See, that's the difference. I grew up on that. I grew up watching like Pokemon and Digimon and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it's like I grew up watching that stuff and never watched Dragon Ball Z. But I'm fully aware it was one of the things that ushered in like the anime era in the West and brought that storytelling that had never really been done over here, not to a great extent.
Yeah, I mean, because if we wanted to watch anime, we had to go to like the mall and go to the video store and buy a movie
Yeah, you
of
had
which we knew nothing. Like it could be something absolutely horrible, or it could be just awesome, and you didn't know without you could look at the cover, read the synopsis. Oh, this looks cool. I'll go ahead and get this.
Yeah. And Ravenite saying as well, like, love Pokemon, never watched Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, I grew up on Pokemon. Dragon Ball was just never something I watched. I was aware of it, like people would talk about it sometimes, but like it was never something I got into. And Ravenite, if you don't know, that's what we're doing. Like Nitro's got like all the Dragon Ball Z series on Blu-ray, and he's given me season 1 to check out. So I'm going to like watch through season 1, and probably one of our January shows we'll do a review on it. Like, and I'll do like his perspective of having grown up with it versus my perspective of like coming into it. Like I'm only 10 episodes in, like disc 1. So
and I'll watch it again too. So I'll have it'll be like a refresh in my brain.
Yeah, and like I'm willing to give it a fair shot. I'm willing to go to the end of season 1 at least and discuss it, and like because I feel like that's the same. Like if you want to fully judge a show, give it a season at least.
Yeah.
To make you, because like you need to give the story time to build. You need to give it time
especially
to reach...
Dragon Ball Z because it drags.
Yeah, it drags, and I'm like, Gohan is like the most annoying thing in the world.
Oh, he is completely 100% agree.
For like 5 episodes, and I'm like, would something eat him already?
Once he gets to be like a teenager, like it's a lot better.
Like, he has the potential to be the most powerful of all of us, and I'm like, I'm not going to let him live that long.
I will murder.
Seriously, and I'm like, it's nuts, and I'm like, it's like you better be like the biggest payoff in show history.
Yeah.
To be worth me watching you.
So the age-old question is, who's the strongest person on that show? Like that's the main question that like begs to be answered throughout the entire series.
Superman.
And sometimes you're like, it's Gohan. Sometimes it's Goku. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, because that's the whole. That's literally the whole thing for it. Into is like Goku like keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
Like he powers up, and then he goes like Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan level 2 and level 3 and level 4, and the hair keeps getting bigger and longer and glowier for every level of it.
What color hair have we not done? Blue. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm like, you keep powering up, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be a point where he stops, or it's like he just...
There's gonna be a part where he loses all his hair. It just falls off.
And it's like, and I love the fact like that. It's like that. It's like, yes, we're going to stop here. That's a perfect spot for Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball GT.
I know. I haven't seen any of that, honestly. Dragon Ball Z.
Because like,
GT.
what is it now? We're on like Dragon Ball Super or something. It's like the 4th show in it, and I'm like,
yeah, I haven't seen that either.
I'm like, okay, yeah. I can already tell like I'm not going to be a massive fan of this. Like if there's a payoff for it, for all this stuff, fantastic, and I'm definitely going to give it its fair shout. Yeah. This is definitely not breaking my top kind of like anime shows. Like I said, my favorite anime probably to this date is Death Note. And just because like I love the psychology in it, and I love the juxtaposition of it. Light is such an amazing character to follow and study, and in terms of what he does, and it's like, and I love that elements of stuff, and like even like I said, I'm a fan of Bleach. I love action shows, I love storytelling, I love all of that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that could be up my alley. So I'm going to give it a fair shake at least.
Cool.
But yeah, since we've got some people in chat anyway, and just speaking of our upcoming schedule. For anyone who wasn't here, next week we're going to be delving into our next indie comic book club, looking at Claws. The Story of How Santa Began, a kind of gritty telling of Santa Claus from Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. Artwork is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so awesome.
Santa Claus has a wolf sidekick and a sword.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
And he will murder you in your sleep if you're bad.
Yeah, so we're going to be delving into that, and we're finishing those up, reading it this week, and we'll be talking about it next week. The following week after that, in 2 weeks' time, we are probably going to do a game day. Hopefully we're going to get a good few people in chat, and we can do a community game day. If not, the two of us will probably just do some gaming.
We can do that.
Just to do a hangout, because it's like the last Sunday before Christmas. I don't want to delve into anything too deep. I want to relax before the holidays, and then we'll be off for Christmas and New Year. Let me double check the date we're back. So we'll be off the 27th and off the 3rd, and then we should be back on the 10th. For the 10th, we are going to be what have we got coming up on the 10th and the 17th? I think it's on the... No, it's later on that month, sorry. So on the 24th... Sorry, I'm thinking of my days mixed up because I was going to do Indie Comic Book Club in January, but the next one's going to be February. But on the 24th of January, we are going to have a special guest on the show as well. Brainy Pixel, a kind of Christian community that does like comics and TV shows and different things and animation. And all that have asked about if they could connect with us, and I'm like, yeah, sure, we can come on the show because I've got some Christian comics to check out. I got some previews of the stuff. I had a little look at some of it, and some of it looks intriguing. So we're going to be bringing on the main person from Brainy Pixel in to talk with us and kind of like go into that. We're definitely going to be talking about the comics, because I think the concepts look really interesting. And then we'll probably delve into some of the other stuff they've got going on, just give them a chance to talk about that. And I don't know if we're going to do it in January, but we also have Mercy Way Studios who we're looking for us to kind of like review some stuff and talk to them. They're doing a retelling of different Bible stories and stuff, and we got some artwork from their story of David and Goliath, which artwork was just stellar. It was beautiful. So I think we're going to try and get them in January as well. Probably February.
And I know we haven't ironed out the details, but we will at some point be adding at least once a month an art stream. It's not going to be on Sundays, I don't know, obviously, but maybe on a Saturday afternoon.
So it's going to be our second official like show that's going to officially be happening. Like while I was away in Nitro, done some art streams to see how they went, and honestly, he got amazing reaction from them.
It was a ton of fun, man.
So like he's going to be doing some more art streams. We're going to set up a time at least. I don't know if it's going to be a specific evening or whatever that you're doing, but we're going to iron out the details. And at least once a month, maybe every second week or something, just do a little bit of art, even for an hour or two.
Yeah.
So we're going to work that out and start putting that out as well. And also for anyone who did miss our guest who was on earlier, Dr. Barron Bell, a legend who's been on the show at least 3 times now.
Super, super good friend of the stream.
He has wrote an amazing book called Dominion, Fall of the House of Saul. And I'm going to show off here. This is the first issue that I got, Chapter 1. This is a special collector's edition. It comes signed by him. It's got a few extras and stuff in it. Chapter 2 of that is going to be dropping. You can find it on the link there at Terminus Media at the shop. That's the company that's printing it. Or also go to their Indiegogo page. The link's there for that as well. If you support the book, there's a lot of things to get, whether it's getting single issues of it. There's a beautiful hardcover that's available. There's other merchandise with Dominion stuff on it. Go and check that out and definitely support. And we're going to talk to Dr. Bell, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway. We're going to see if we can get the special collectors of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 signed by him, or the hardcover of it, whichever option we want to go for.
Yeah.
And give that away to someone in the comic clan, part of the Comics and the Cross community. Got a few people I think be interested in it. It's definitely worth checking out. So we'll post some more stuff on our social media about that. Also spelling is not my strong suit here. This is why I put everything on buttons. Go and follow Dr. Bell and the Minion Comic on social media to keep up to date with it. Follow the Instagram 100% and the YouTube if you want to see like time-lapse videos of his art, some of his sketches, different stuff he's done for the book. I mean, the art's beautiful. Let me throw this up here. I mean, look at the art for that. That's the cover for Chapter 2, and it looks stunning. It really does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I think that's really us for today. It's a short hangout stream, get back in the swing of things. We were just kind of hanging out and talking. Unless anyone that's in chat has got questions or anyone wants to talk about anything, or
I feel we should address the subs thing again.
I was holding off on that because I kind of wanted to see if Locke showed up.
Yeah.
To apologise. So 2 weeks ago, our little bar here at the bottom hit 15. We flipped out because we got 15 subs to the channel. It means we can unlock our second emote, our Stan Lee emote, based on our Super Stan head. Because he is, when you become a sub, you become part of the Stan clan. I think I've still got it here. Yeah, the emotes. So like the hype and the power are current emotes, and then the Stan Lee head was going to be the secondary emote. You need 15 subs to get that, and we thought we hit it. What didn't happen was this bar didn't update from the week before, so we actually dropped 4 subs whose subs ran out. So we are only at 11 subs. We are not at 15. If you want to sub to the channel or gift any subs to help us reach that goal, we greatly appreciate it. Obviously, it's not a mandatory thing, but any money goes to helping the channel continue and just be able to do some more stuff. And also is going to help us get our second emote, which we're excited for. If you want to also support, you can go check out our Patreon. Support us for as low as $2 a month. Again, not a mandatory thing, but obviously the more money we get, the more stuff we can do on the channel. Or at least do sooner. We don't have to save up quite as much. If you want to also follow us on social media, you can go and hit us up on there. Or check out our YouTube so that we can, if you want to check out any of our previous shows or Nitro's art streams that he did for the last month or so, they're all held in archives in our YouTube. Also as well, special shout out to anyone that missed it at the start. We have a Teespring store with stuff up there where you can go and buy Comics in the Cross merchandise. Also, we have a new link there for an Etsy store for Nitro. He is One Up Customs. You'll see the logo popping up down the bottom of the page there. There it is, popping up right on time. Also, if you go into our About Us section, there's also a link there with the One Up Customs. That's his Etsy store where he does artwork, stickers, and most recently he's been painting a lot of geeky style sneakers. I think we done speaking of Dragon Ball, he done a Dragon Ball themed one.
Yeah.
He done Among Us themed one, which was beautiful work. A lot of work went into that one.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
And I think you've done stuff for your kids like Spider-Man and Hulk, and you've got some new ones that you're working on.
Yeah.
So you can click on the link, go and check those out. Support Nitro and his amazing artwork. His art is phenomenal. The guy deserves support.
Man. Really appreciate
and
it.
also as well, if you're looking for geeky gifts for people, there's some nice little things to throw in there. You know, throw in some stickers, some artwork, or if you want to blow it and get them a nice pair of sneakers, go for it. You know,
go for it.
If you want to continue the conversation as well, let me throw that up there. Our Discord, you can join us over there. But thank you to everyone who's supported us through the last month as we've done the art streams so cool. And the gaming streams and done a lot of different stuff. It's I can't believe it. You realize we're closing in a year doing this. We're going into 2021. We started this back in March.
We started in March. We started right before the crap hit the fan.
Yeah, pretty much there was a quarantine thing happening, and it was yeah, we could do this. This could be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
And it just never stopped.
Yeah. That's crazy. We've never done this outside of COVID.
Yeah, literally COVID was what started us doing this. So
that's nuts. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, literally that. Because hey, people were stuck at home. They need something to watch, something to listen to, something to do. Why not us? Go watch us. We're fun. But yeah, this has just been a hangout stream today. This has just been a, 5 weeks in. We had Dr. Bell coming on, which he wasn't originally planned to be on this week, and then I'll be honest, I should have been on top of booking him a lot sooner to come in December. It was something I planned to do, but with a new baby coming, it kind of stops you thinking about and planning other stuff. And obviously I'm still very tired and still very drained because my wife's been locked away with the baby for the last few weeks, so I've been running around after 2 toddlers trying to keep them from killing themselves, which is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
They like that's their main mission in life when they're under 4 is like, I'm gonna try to hurt myself as bad as possible.
Yeah. Is this a high thing? Can I climb it? Yeah. Come down. Okay. Jump. It's like that is their goal in life. Like, it's kind of like a thing, you know, like where animals, like, you know, they've got predators to worry about. Humans don't really have predators to worry about. Just the kids are
themselves.
just almost like suicidal, practically. Like the stuff
Like legit
like
borderline. The kids are suicidal.
Yeah, like the
like
stuff
they're born
they
that
do,
way.
and I'm like, really? I'm like, I know you've not been taught not to do this, but like, wow. Like,
Dude,
wow.
I remember I was upstairs and we have really steep stairs, and my son, who's 2 years old, was at the end of the hall, and I was going down the steps, and he just full speed runs right off the top step. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? If I wasn't there, you'd be dead.
That's how you find how good a father you are. It's like, can I make it from the bottom of the staircase to the top of the staircase in one move before he hits something?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, dude, you cannot do that.
So yeah. So
I miss this, man. I miss this banter back and forth.
Yeah, so
it's good to have you back, bro.
So this has just been a thank you, man. It's honestly good to be back. I've honestly missed chatting with you. I've missed the comic clan and getting to chat with everyone here, and it's fun to be back. And you know, this was just a nice little easing it back in. Like, we didn't have a massive amount of news to talk about. We kind of mentioned some casting, some stuff like that, but we didn't have a lot. So
we still got it though. We still got it.
Yeah, I still got it, man.
We can still talk about nothing.
Yeah, still talk about nothing for 2 hours straight. Can you talk
really
about nothing for 2 hours straight? You can have a podcast all of your own.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But honestly, this has been a blast being back. I've missed this. I've missed streaming. I've missed doing the podcast, and I keep wanting to do it, and it's like I've not been at work and stuff, so I've not been streaming. But I kind of honestly want to do some game streaming as well whenever I get a chance at night and delve a little bit more into that. I'll be honest, I've been playing the crap out of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ooh.
I picked it up for PC for like $20, like not that long ago, and it's been such a good game, and I so want to do it on stream. I'm very hesitant because I try to keep us family friendly, and I know there's not family friendly stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, not even like the violence and like the killing, but literally like there's nudity and there's swearing and it's full blown. But at the same time, I don't want to play anything else right now. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm a big Assassin's Creed mark. I love the Assassin's Creed games and stuff. I really want to play Valhalla so badly.
Dude, that looks
doing
awesome.
all the money for it. I'm like, I get to be an assassin and a Viking. Yes.
Yes, and yes. Dude, Cyberpunk comes out in like a couple days. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's finally releasing.
I know.
How long's that been pushed back now? Like, they've been talking about that for
multiple times.
It feels like, but it's finally dropping, and it does look great. I'm like, I don't even know that much about the gameplay or anything like that. I just do all the trailers and the images I've seen. I'm like, that looks cool. And I'm like,
Keanu Reeves? Yes, please.
I'm like, yeah, that looks so cool, and it's like, something just fell.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
yeah, they've pushed it at least 2 or 3 times.
What's the gameplay like? No freaking idea. I have no idea what any of that stuff is.
Basically an open world sandbox like Grand Theft Auto, but it's set in like 2077 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm down for that. That sounds awesome.
Looks awesome.
I'm up for at least checking that out, but
yeah, man, this has been fun though.
It's been good to be back, and we actually made it to about an hour and a half. I'm not going to lie, that's kind of better than I thought we were going to do.
Yeah, I know.
I worried we were like that when Dr. Bell was like heading off. I'm like, are we going to have anything to talk about? Because we don't really have any news.
How are we going to fill the time? Yeah.
And like, apparently, like, you know, we just ramble and people
That's
show
just
up.
what we do, man. That's what we do, Cross. We're really good at that.
People show up and it works. Let me have a look then at Twitch. I want to drop someone a raid. Let's see who we've got online. I'm looking for people. Go ahead, entertain the people. Go on, Nitro.
Dude, somebody raided us when you were gone. I forgot who it was, but
oh yeah,
they dropped like 10 people into our chat, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
I seen it.
I don't have a hat or a video or music to play.
I know. We need something. Like, we've been raided like 3 times since March. Like, that's literally all we've done is like had is like 3 raids. We don't get raided often enough where it's like we need to do something fancy for a raid yet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm never going to get over Good Kid Dad and his one. Like, he literally sings the Witcher song with some lyrics changed.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Toss a coin to your streamer, and I'm like,
I forgot somebody else. I don't know if it was it Bob the Racer? I don't know. It might have been, but somebody had like one of those like huge what do you call it? Those swords. Claymores. Like, they have a huge Claymore sword. And I'm like, holy mother. And they pulled it out and like they were singing a song or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah, that's
I
him.
forgot who that
That's
was.
Good Kid Dad.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
toss a coin to your streamer while holding a sword, and I'm like, oh, there we go. Let's see if Frostbite's. He's about 2 hours in. Oh, I've got a commercial. Let me just make sure he's like not. I always like to check and make sure that like who I'm about to raid isn't like about to go offline. So it's like raid and they're gone.
Yeah.
But this dude Frostbite is really
did
cool. Frostbite 4. He's an awesome guy. So and he's playing some Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well. Perfect.
Nice.
So if you're still in chat and you're still hanging out with us, first of all, thank you.
You're awesome.
We've literally been talking about nothing but crap for the day, pretty much. So like, thank you that you've hung around and talked with us. Yeah, he's still doing stuff. So let's go ahead and drop some love to him. And we, of course, going to be back next week, as I said, in the Comic Book Club at 2 o'clock next Sunday. Make sure you come and join us. Follow us on social media to keep up with everything. And we will see you all then. But have an amazing day and Excelsior.
See you guys.